What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a little bit of a different video. I randomly had this idea and we're just going to run with it. Today we're going to be doing a Vanguard map tier list. And there's a lot I have to say about each individual one. And it kind of will share my insight about the game overall. If you guys enjoy this type of video, definitely drop a like, don't forget to subscribe for more Call of Duty videos, and let's get right into the tier list. Okay, so here we are on the tier list, and we're just going to go in the order that they have here, okay? Subpens. This one, I think it was, I don't know if it was in the beta. Actually, I don't think it was in the beta, but it was one of the early maps that was always in the rotation. Like, you'd be playing this like every other map for whatever reason. The rotation between the maps the very beginning of the game were really, really bad. And I think everybody can agree to this. Trash. It is so trash. The flow of it is just awful because the map is so linear. It's so long. And there's like, it's just long and skinny. There's no good flank routes. There's no good, it just doesn't really flow. You got the people in the top office who like to fight on each side, and that's about it. Everything else doesn't really feel like it flows very well on this map. Next, Tuscan. This one's a meh. It's okay. I mean, obviously with each map, it plays differently depending on the combat pacing. But overall, I would say Tuscan is probably meh, just right in the middle. It's a good 3-lane map. There's good spots to head glitch and to get some long shots, and you can play small as well if you're playing within the church. When I say small, I mean short, short distances. You got the church, you got the is it the B flag? It's just it's just an average Call of Duty map. Red Star. Ooh, this one definitely goes here. Like, why was this even approved? One side of the map, the freaking Capitol building or whatever government building this is, literally, that doesn't even need to be in the game. Like, cut that out. People only fight on the B and C side. Like, those long range fights are on the side of the building. You got that little barn area, like, in the main building. Those are like the only places of traffic. Everything else is just fluff. It's too big. With obviously combat pacing with Blitz, it's a little bit better, but this map is only good for long shots. That's it. The visibility was so bad in the beta in the early stages of the game. You could barely see like 10 meters in front of you. It was absolutely ridiculous, and a lot of people hated this map. And I still think a lot of people hate this map. Next up, Oasis. This one, I would have to say, sometimes good, sometimes shit. For me, the only way that I truly enjoyed this map was getting long shots with the MK launcher. Just shooting that thing up and just sitting there waiting and getting like 2 or 3 kills on Blitz. It was crazy fun, hilarious to get some of the reactions. But really, Oasis is another one of those like really big maps that's it's 3-lane, but there's no good like flank routes, very open space. It's a very long range specific map, which is great for snipers and getting long shots. But other than that, there's no real good flow. It's just people standing across from each other on different head glitches, sniping. And that's pretty much what Oasis is. So if you're going for those guns, it's great. If not, it's kind of boring. Next up, oh my goodness, Berlin. This is the, well, Hotel Royale. This is one of the 2 night maps. Berlin, I would have to say, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Again, another long, wide open map. Good for long range guns. But it just, again, the flow wasn't really there. It's just a little bit too big of a map. And when you're playing on Blitz, the only fun way to really do it is to snipe. One thing I will say about the Blitz game mode, which was a great idea, but when you have 20 people throwing stun grenades and freaking concussion grenades, the ones that blow up with fire and smoke and shakes your screen so much, when you have 20 people doing that against 20 other people who are doing that, it just wasn't very good. And a lot of times with these long range maps like Oasis and Berlin, people are just hucking grenades from one end of the spawn to the other, and it's just a nightmare to play against. So that's one big knock I have with one, the gameplay philosophy, and two, the map design. Hotel Royal is next. This one, I feel like it's pretty mixed within the community, but I would say it's meh. Oh, it's in between these two. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Meh. I'm gonna put it in just meh, just because it's way more close range and more high action than all the other ones that we've talked about so far. But still, this map doesn't flow very well to me. It's very mashy, like everything's mashed in together. It doesn't flow very well. You have that that glass wall where you just lose aim assist for whatever reason. I will say, with all these maps, things would be different if spawns worked correctly. So that's the big thing I have to say. Like, spawns just were awful in this game. They still are. It's just, it makes some of these maps just not very good to play on. Hotel Royal was one of them. I feel like you're running back and forth in between spawns just trying to get some kills. It just didn't flow very well. So that could be the spawn working against Hotel Royal. But to me, it's just middle of the pack. I mean, if spawns were different, it could be better. But I mean, unfortunately, we don't have that luxury right now. Next up, Numa. This one was an okay map. So far, that's my highest rated map. This was okay. Again, similar to Hotel Royal, the map flow is kind of weird because I felt like most of the time you're just kind of running in circles. You get some kills, and the next thing you know, the people spawn on the other side of the map, so you're running around in circles. There were some interesting hiding spots that you could sit in, like kind of back where the trenches were. That was a little bit annoying to like find people sitting way back there. Found it a little difficult to pick those people out against the background, which is super annoying. And you guys obviously have like the tree campers, but overall, this map it was an okay map. Sometimes it was really fun to play. The pace was fast enough, but overall, it was just pretty. It was solid. I'll say that. Next up, Bocage. I think that's how you pronounce it. This one. This one's in between these two. Meh and okay. This one is a lot of fun on the higher blitz and assault modes. There's just so much going on. You're not seeing those people camping on each side just sniping, but you can if you want for going for those long shots. Fighting within the barn and in that main building is a lot of fun as well. Domination on this map plays pretty well. I think it's a very traditional Call of Duty map, and it flows good with the spawns being so far deep back. You get way back there. I think that really helped the flow of the map so that the spawns weren't flipping all the time. So that's why I really liked Bocage more than some of these other maps, because the spawns just were more predictable and they just kind of fit in the map. Castle. A lot of people love this map because it's from World at War. I have no pleasure playing this map. It's for sniping and sniping alone. From one rooftop to the other side of the map, that's it. It's just a weird shape of a map. The middle section is just like a building you have to run around. It doesn't really flow very well. I don't like it at all. Das House. I think we can all agree it's the best. But the people who play this map, everyone hated. Not everyone. A lot of people started to dislike Das House because they were playing Das House 24/7, so that's all they played. So they got burnt out. Makes sense. If you do something or play something long enough, you're gonna get burnt out. That's fair. Also, shotguns. This was a shotgun loving map, and everybody took advantage of that because the shotguns were so broken. So I think this one will get a lot of hate now because of the terrible experiences people have gone through. But the fast pace of it, the long range ability, just the high speed pace of this map makes it really good. I wouldn't say world's best. I would probably change that. So for Vanguard, it's a good map. It may not be the best when it compares to all the other maps in Call of Duty, but for Vanguard, definitely the best and the most fun in the whole game. Oh, whoops, those ones didn't save. There we go. Okay, Decoy. I'm not gonna say it's the worst map, but I really, really do not like this map. This map, they took it a little too far when it came to destructible environment. Everything can be destroyed in this, and once you have cover, you die, come back, that cover could be gone. It's just a lot of openness and fluff that apparently doesn't even need to be there. It again, for whatever reason, this one just does not flow very well. It could be just the lanes and how they were designed. But this one is just a mash of crazy, obnoxious gameplay. It never feels good. I did drop my first nuke. I dropped my first nuke on Decoy, and that's why it's not the worst map. I'll put it at D because I did drop my first nuke on that map. Literally on Blitz, I sat in a corner right here in this, right where this building is. There's a little window and a door. A little bit lower, you had that ledge there that you can run by. I sat in that corner and just picked people off. That was it. And I got a nuke. That's the only redeeming thing about Decoy. Demyansk, or however you pronounce it. This one was actually a pretty good map. I'm going to put it at the B. It's not quite A tier on the same level as DOS House because this one is interesting. It flows differently depending on the players, which all maps do. But this one is more designed for those sit back with your LMG or your sniper or your marksman rifle, take shots at people in the church, take shots at people in the forest on the right hand side, next to the shore, the frozen lake. But you do play some close range battles, whether that's in the church or that small building people always camp on top of. That left side where the bridge is a really fun place to fight. It's a really good flank spot. I think the lanes in this one were very well designed. Overall, I think it was a pretty solid map. Next up, Desert Siege. C. Middle of the pack. Nothing special, nothing terrible about this map. Both lanes, left and right, both have really long ranges, so you can go for those long range shots if you want to. But the middle is always jam packed. There's always people trying to fight over position of that middle building, which is great. I think that's a good flow. And there's ways to maneuver around the side lanes, so you're not just running down a fixed lane getting sniped by somebody just staring down your barrel. Obviously, that could happen in Desert Siege, but you have the train carts on one of the sides that you can go in and out of and, weave your way past those snipers. On the right side, you have trenches. You have a little overpass from the building. Like, there was more maneuverability on this map. So that's why it's a C tier, not a D tier. I wouldn't say it's a B because it's still not like super great for all different types of engagements, but it gives you different options. So that's why it's C. Dome. It's a B tier. I really want to put it at C, but I think it's a B tier because it is one of those classic maps from World at War that people just love with their nostalgia glasses. But in this one, it's one of the better maps. And I'm comparing these maps to each other. No other Call of Duty, because these would all be like F. So compared to all the other Vanguard maps, Dome is a B. It's just a good flowing map. You have a lot of different routes you can take. You can play vertical on high ledges if you wanted. overall, it's just a decent map. Small, so you get high action. Again, the thing that plagued this and really ruined the experience for me, spawns. It's not the map's fault, it's the spawns. Spawns have been a huge, huge issue throughout the game. And that's why I would want to put it at C or even D. But overall, it's a good flowing map. Nest, Eagle's Nest. I put it at A. It's a traditional 3-lane map. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a great, solid map. And out of all these ones, it's definitely one of the best. It feels like a good traditional Call of Duty map. Obviously, it is annoying because the time to kill is super fast. So, like, if you peek on one of these left edges and somebody's already there, you're going to die right away. So that is definitely annoying, but there's different routes that you can take. I like how on this left side here of the building, right here, you see on this left side of the building, you have that long hallway, open hallway. There's that window you can jump through, so there's a little bit more maneuverability, which I really do like. So Eagle's Nest, solid. Gavutu. I'm gonna say C. Just middle of the pack. Almost borderline bad. It's average. I'll just say that. Like the big thing that holds us back is that there's just not a lot on the beach side. You have that little circle area people play with. Like I really enjoyed it in the beta, but as time goes on and people learn how to play the game and people slow down, then this map became worse. You have people sitting at the sniper building, and people sitting at the tower sniping at each other. No one's moving. You have people who want to control the ship. That's probably the most high traffic area, which pushes everybody to one side of the map. And so fighting over that's fun. But literally, if you want to shake things up and you want to go on the beach side, go to like that little circle area. Not a whole lot goes out there. You'll find maybe 1 or 2 enemies. And that's about it. So I'm going to put it at C tier because the traffic, the way that they maneuvered traffic in that map just wasn't very good. They just kind of clumped it in one side. So that's what, to me, is what holds Gavutu back. So 2 A tiers. Everything else was just okay. Overall, I think the spawns really, really hurt the maps and this game as a whole. Because in some of the maps, you're like just chasing kills. You'll get a few kills and near somebody's spawn. You're not in their spawn, but you're near it. And it gets flipped. Now they're behind you and you have to run back across the map. Sometimes the map's huge, so it takes a long time to just run across, get a kill, run all the way back. So I think spawns were really messed with the maps this year and tainted a lot of people's views. But this is my tier list. Let me know what you guys think of the tier list in the comments. Let me know your guys' tier list as well. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.